What's going on, guys? Seth and Chevy here. We just watched episode 11 of Chainsaw Man. Quick recap. This is essentially an introduction to some characters, apparently, and Special Division getting some payback, hopefully. In the beginning of the episode, we see the continuation of Aki meeting with the Future Devil, who is a very energetic dude. Asks Aki to put his head inside of him so he can see his future. Sees his future, goes to tell Aki how he's going to die. Aki has no interest in that. He just wants to do what he's supposed to do, which is get the Gun Devil, get his revenge, and essentially they make a deal that he's going to live inside of Aki's right eye. And Aki's very quick to just agree to that, which was very interesting. Then we go forward and find that, as we now know him as Kishibe, is training Power and Denji still. He says, but you can't really trust everything that he says, that they are going to stop doing this daily and move to weekly. He also informs them that they are going to go after the people who orchestrated the hit on everybody in prior episodes. And they need to be ready for that. And yeah, Denji and Power are feeling good. They're, I mean, when are they not? But they're feeling more powerful. They're ready to go. And yeah, Kishibe has a meeting with Makima where they kind of talk about what was kind of alluded to before, where Makima may have already known that this thing was going to happen. And they kind of talk about essentially the ethics of doing what needs to be done to save humans. And Makima seems like just kind of saying what needs to be said, but Kishibe kind of knows that she's kind of full of shit on a lot of things. So which is something I've kind of felt throughout the whole show so far, is Makima is not 100% being honest about stuff, but that's either here nor there. The Kyoto team essentially drops off Aki after he joins with the Future Devil, and pretty much tell him that he's crazy for being part of the Special Division, and they'll probably never see him again. And that's cool. Then, Makima goes and finds some Yakuza and wants some info on their family and the other families being Yakuza families. Trying to make a deal with them. They are trying to work with her a little bit, but they refuse to go into giving info on everybody, because that would mean not good things for them. But they don't realize that talking with Makima also means not good things for them. And she essentially shows them that she has a bag of eyeballs from people that she says they can put back, but it's definitely an intimidation tactic she's using. In which one guy gets really upset at her, and as soon as he goes to do something, she also does something, like give him an aneurysm, which is just another example of Makima as a very dangerous person. I don't know exactly what she's doing, but she can do it, apparently from anywhere, so that's scary. So the Special Division goes to the location of where the Snake Girl and the Katana guy are. It showed prior to this that they were kind of anticipating to be attacked, and they were trying to prepare for it by having a basement full of zombies, which is really interesting. But they essentially just know that someone's coming for them, and they want to be ready for it. So we see them, they're there, they've located them, and they're ready to go. This is where Kishibe reveals his name. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. And essentially warns the police there that they're bringing in some essentially fiends, some devils, to help with this operation. Now they've merged all the divisions into this Division 4, right? Essentially warning them if they get out, it's going to be very dangerous, and so they need to know what they're going to be fighting against if this is a thing that happens. It kind of serves as a scene where they're introducing these new characters very rapid fire. We've never even heard of these people outside of seeing them in the intro, and now we get to know them. And so, yeah, while Denji, Power, Aki, and company, Kobeni, go in to start thinning out the zombies, we're introduced to a shark devil who apparently can swim through walls and surfaces in general. He can swim through the floor, through the walls. He has a shark head. That's his devil aspect to him, in which he can chomp everything. We have a what was it, violence devil?
Pretty sure he's a fiend, not a devil. Yeah.
Yeah, and he had a poison mask. It said it could spray poison out.
Yes.
So we didn't see that. He was mostly just punching people and doing a bunch of
Very big punches. Yeah.
yeah, doing the chops too, and punching through people with his hands. Then we have a spider devil.
Yes.
Or was that a fiend?
That was a devil.
Okay, there's a lot of rapid fire going on here. Who essentially is a creepy looking woman with spider legs, which is unsettling. And then we are introduced to the angel devil, who's essentially somebody who seems like they'd rather be doing something else with a halo. Who?
Yeah, they're very passive.
Yeah, who? Well, it's kind of made me think that there's no danger there for them.
Yeah.
So there's no reason for them to care about anything. Who is able to deflect bullets with her wings, which is interesting, and also ages people if they get too close to her. Right?
Touch. She drains their life if they touch.
Well, yeah, but she said that that she was surprised Aki even got close to her.
That was more of like an intimidation thing. Like she's surprised someone that knows who she is would get that close, and he's like,
Yeah.
he said, "Well, there's cloth between us, so it doesn't matter."
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was actually touch or just a
It's physical
proximity thing.
touch,
Okay,
yeah.
interesting. So yeah, that's a person who does that. We'll see how that comes into play later. I'm sure there's plenty of things you can do with that, but it's a very interesting thing to bring into a combat scenario. Yeah, so they thin out the zombies downstairs, and earlier Kishibe said that there was no plan. They're just going in. And then when Power and Denji ask Aki about pretty much the same thing, he has a similar view on it. He's like, we're just going to go in and look and find these guys. Aki finds the snake girl real quick on a stairwell, in which she's able to bring out the, I don't know what that thing was called, but it was the thing that oh God, why can't I remember her name?
Himeno is the ghost devil.
Himeno, yeah. Yeah, the ghost devil. After it got devoured, she was able to use it, which is very interesting. She brings that out to fight Aki when Aki's trying to apprehend her. And it attacks Aki, and with Aki's new powers, he is able to see a little into the future. So it gives him a little bit of a guidance in combat. They did a really good job in the animation. Not quite stumbling his way through, but he's fighting just fine, but he's not doing it as if he's been doing this for a long time.
Yeah,
And
for
so you can kind of see in his movement that he's just hitting what he can, and he's dodging and stuff, but it's not like, as good as it could be. I'm sure it'll become better later. He ends up getting grabbed by it though, and it starts choking him, and the snake person essentially tells it to choke him to death. And we leave the episode with Aki losing consciousness, in which I'm sure in the next episode somebody will come in and do something, or maybe he will. I don't know. We don't know much about his devil in his eye outside of what it said, but there's always some kind of trump card in these situations. And yeah, outro sequence was a thing. It was okay. It was kind of somber, kind of chill. Song was okay. Something about violence. I don't know. Anyway, impressions.
I mean, there's obviously pieces moving, but like you kind of brought up, it's a very introduction heavy and information heavy episode, which I always appreciate. I love information episodes, just because obviously that leads to the next episode. We don't have to do that now, so
Yeah, next episode. I'm assuming, is that the finale?
yes.
I'm assuming we're gonna have some kind of big thing happen in it. So
Yeah, I assume it would be the resolution with the Katana Devil and the Snake Lady, but
yeah.
yeah. So I mean, like always, enjoyed the episode. I especially like the conversations that kept happening with Makima. There's a lot of subtlety in the way she presents herself, which I really enjoy, especially like when her and what's the dude's name? Kishibe are talking, and when a series of us presumably fibbing or lies just isn't working on him, she lets a smile come out, which I thought was kind of interesting. That she basically was like, "Okay, you're on the right track, but I'm still not going to tell you." So.
Yeah, she's got hidden ambitions that she's kind of masking behind for the greater good mentality.
Yeah.
So, and is willing to do anything for it. So.
Yeah, and then again with the conversation with the Yakuza, first off, bringing all those eyeballs is a real fucked up move. But I mean,
I think she's had a paper bag of them.
Yeah, and the bag wasn't even wet.
Yeah.
But yeah, the dude grabbing her, and then like that close up of her eyes where she just looks like, "How dare you fucking touch me?"
It just looked like somebody wasn't threatened by him.
Yeah, and yeah, the nosebleed, and eventually like just kind of passing out. I assume dead. So,
and this is something we saw. I skipped over because it wasn't a main story thing, but when Aki was looking for the snake girl, he is confronted by some dudes, and he actually dodges a bullet. Someone shoots at him, he moves out of the way. So like, that's that kind of like a little bit of the future in front of him kind of thing that I think is allowing him to have those reflexes. But takes out one dude by uppercutting him. But then when he's confronted by 4 people with like machine guns, I was like, see, you got to start dodging bullets. But then like all their noses start bleeding, and it shows Makima leaving the cabin. Nobody else is leaving. And so it's implied that she has something to do with that now that she's gotten the names. But yeah, just talking about the nose thing,
it's real interesting how
kind of a trademark at this point of what she's doing.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's a different devil contract with the nosebleed, because the other one was not that subtle. But it's funny how she needs names all the time. So I'm looking forward to the day we get like a full detail on that. I also really like the interaction between Aki and the future devil, especially after like you get this like information that 2 people have this contract. One lost physical parts of their body, another person lost half their life, and the only reason he joined Aki is because he saw how Aki died, and he thinks it's gonna be hilarious to see in real time. I
thought he said it was gonna be like awesome.
Yeah, for him.
Yeah.
So he's just like, I want to see that.
Yeah, I interpreted it like it was gonna be like badass. He wanted to be there for it.
Yeah, so he didn't want anything. He just wants to witness, which is a pretty cheap contract. I
also like that he was like just like instantly gonna tell him. Like, he's like, I don't care. Like,
yeah. So that was a fun interaction. I also like how he's like trying to get him to like basically party with him. He's like, I'm here for a contract. He's like, you're a drag.
Yeah, that guy's down for a good time.
So that was fun. The introduction to the new devils and fiends was really cool. I hope to see a little more of them. Obviously, we
I think we're gonna, for sure.
We mostly saw the shark one kind of going crazy there for a little bit, and then just like a small tidbit of the other 2. What else? Or three. Sorry. We did see the spider devil do a little bit more. I think it was kind of interesting to get a little bit of detail there as well, that a lot of the devils who are more human looking tend to be less opposed to cooperating with humans, which I think is kind of a funny bit to throw in there, because like the angel also looked very human and has no like desire to necessarily kill humans. So
yeah, I'm curious about their ambitions, or if it's like a power situation where they're stuck doing this, because Makima.
Well, maybe I kind of took it as like maybe it's a blending in mechanic or or defense mechanism type of thing, since they already look human. But who knows?
Yeah.
Seem to be missing something. Oh, so and then Aki going through the building, getting a quick glimpse at what the power he obtained was, which a little bit of foresight, which is honestly pretty powerful. And then they did a great job of interpreting him knowing what's coming, but not necessarily being the most skilled. And so like he's kind of clumsy, but also he knows where to dodge and stuff. So that was a really good. They portrayed that very well, I think.
Yeah, without explaining that, I just saw that and knew what was happening. So.
Yeah, which is really good.
Yeah.
In the animation department to be able to tell us information without telling us information.
Big surprise.
Yeah. So,
from this show.
Yeah. And then the outro. I thought the visuals were great. The song is okay.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the song. The visuals are cool, lacked color, which was, kind of whatever. But the animation was fantastic with power dancing. It looked really good. But
one of the cool effects where people turn Aki was breaking apart into squares and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
I always like that kind of stuff. Anyways, Nier Automata has stuff like that as well, and I love that. So.
For sure. Yeah, I think I was underwhelmed by it just because the song was not.
Yeah, the song's
really my thing.
Very okay.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it, but I don't. I wouldn't buy it either.
Yeah, it's pretty mediocre.
But yeah, overall good episode. It's a good lead up, and of course a terrible cliffhanger to make me wait a week on. So.
Yeah. I really like this episode, but I think honestly, and there has to be one in the whole season. I think this is maybe my least favorite episode of the show so far because what we're leading towards is what this episode's purpose is for, and I want to see that. So it's an introduction episode, but it was a really quick introduction to characters. I would have liked a little bit more time, but before we were introduced to characters like Kobeni, we still don't know much about her. But she's been around long enough now that she's a lot more interesting. But yeah, this just rapid fired 4 new characters that I'd like to see more on, and we're gonna eventually, unless they all get killed, which would be crazy. But yeah, I'm more interested in that, and then a lot of hinting with. Makima, I still want to know more about her. We're not getting that info, and I'll be patient and wait. But what she did with the Yakuza was definitely cool and interesting, and just kind of reinforces, like I said before, that she's essentially a witch. You don't want to fuck with her because she doesn't physically have to do anything to you. So. Just being not even in her presence. Just if she knows of you, you're in danger.
Yeah,
that's horrifying. Yeah. So the beginning I really liked though with Aki and the Future Devil. He's interesting. A lot less. I mean, he's crazy looking, but a lot less scary than they did with the end of the last episode, because obviously they're building it up. But it's Justin and I'm well, what the fuck is that in there? And now I'm oh, he's kind of weird, which I kind of like. Totally fits the show though. And yeah, I like the way that their deal kind of got finalized. It's very in theme with Aki, who's just driven by doing what he thinks needs to be done no matter what, willing to sacrifice himself to essentially try and take out the thing that changed his life essentially. And everyone is doubting him on that, and he still is very tenacious and. It doesn't matter. He's still going to try and get it done, even if he fails. He still has to try. And so I really am liking Aki more and more. I already liked him early on, but he's just a really interesting character and the most balanced of all the characters in the show. Even though his self-destruction isn't healthy and not mentally good, but he's a lot more focused than everybody else, which I really enjoy. I liked the build-up. Before essentially this raid, which was pretty cool. Though I thought it was interesting, they just started in the basement and started taking out the zombies. They made a point about those zombies, and then that was the first thing they did when they showed up, is to take those things out. So it's kind of almost just a stage that was built to introduce characters. But that's fine. I'm not here to watch them fight zombies. I want to see them fight the snake girl, and I want to see what happens with the katana guy, because that's going to be dope. I also like that we got a little bit of their perspective on kind of waiting for these people to show up and attack them, and that they're planning on escaping, but they also know they're gonna have to fight their way out. And the katana guy says that he's essentially he's really pissed at Denji and he wants to cut his heart out. So he's still there and thinking about what happened prior. And yeah.
Well, he lost his dad to him. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and then, he didn't get him the last time they went after him. So that whole situation is kind of a failure. They did take people out, but they didn't accomplish what they came to do. Yeah. So the new characters shown, I don't know anything about them, but they seem interesting. I think the shark guy looks kind of goofy, but I'll be curious to see, what his character's like. His ability is interesting. They can just swim through surfaces and bite things. The spider chick is, I'd like to know more about her, but she seems probably the least interesting, even though the aesthetic is really cool to just have all these like legs, but I'm wondering if she can do anything else outside of just having a bunch of legs and being able to obviously fight a bunch of people at once. The gas mask guy, Violence Devil or Fiend or whatever he was, I'll be curious to see what he can do. I mean, he looks badass and he was fighting all the zombies, which looked cool, but don't have any info. And then I've been waiting to find out more about the Angel Devil because she shows up a lot in the intro. And finally seeing her, I'm intrigued. She's probably the most interesting of the four, in my opinion, just because her demeanor, but also her abilities on surface level sound like, okay, that's interesting enough, but how are you going to use that? And that's where I'm interested. I want to see how those are used in situations, and that also she can block bolts with her wings. That's pretty, like, she wasn't even like freaked out or anything. She's like, bop, bop, ow, ow. And so she seems pretty powerful. So I'll be curious to see what they do with her. And yeah, seeing Aki actualized is cool as well, because he already potentially had the drive, but now that he has that ability to kind of see a little glimpse into the future, gives him a reaction to things that will complement using the sword. As we're already seeing, I think it's only going to get better now that he has that. This is kind of a test run of this, and so we'll see where it goes.
So it was nice seeing him use like a normal katana. At first I thought he had the curse one. I was like, bro, you can't just keep swinging the thing around.
I thought about that for a second. I'm like, so can he just use that now that he opened it up? But yeah, he's just using katana. So that's cool, because if he knows how to use one, why not just fucking use one then, like a normal one? I thought for a second maybe he used it up, so it doesn't matter now. But anyway, he's fighting with the katana, which is cool. That's what we want to see. He's been walking around with one, and now we're seeing it. And a little sloppy, but he's getting the job done outside of getting choked out. I doubt he will die like this. So especially the way the future devil made it out, I don't think this would be the death he was excited for. And yeah, overall, this episode just feels like a bridge to me, and I'm really excited, although I'm not excited for the show to end, because I'm really enjoying this show a lot. I'm really excited to see what happens in the next episode, because I feel like this is setting up and getting, like you said, all the things that we need out of the way now, so that the next episode can be a big spectacle episode, big event episode. Something's gonna happen to get us excited for the next season, or the next what has to work. Will be the next part of the season, or will it be season 2?
I mean, I don't know how they're going to handle it with this show.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
well, we don't know, but whatever they're going to do to continue the show, because it's going to get continued, unless it doesn't, that would suck. This is going to have to get people pumped for that. And so I think they're going to do that. I think they're setting it up for something, because we're already ending the episode with a combat scene. The next episode's probably going to start with that. So going forward, and leave us with some kind of big event, and I'm really excited to see that. But yeah, it's gonna suck when it's over, because this is the most I've been into an anime in a while. So
yeah, and I'm starting to feel like the second season probably won't be until winter next year, which is gonna suck. So
yeah, that's not that bad though. As long as not years, I'm fine. Like I'm kind of used
pretty
to.
positive it's supposed to go out next year. I just don't know what season yet.
Yeah.
But with how much stuff Mappa's got coming out next year.
When's that something Paradise coming out?
I don't think it has a. I'm thinking spring, but I don't know.
Next year?
I don't. Yeah, it's next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really want to watch that, so that'll keep me busy.
I don't know if it got confirmed or not, but One Punch Man season 3 apparently is also being picked up by Mappa. So
yeah, I need to watch season 2 if I'm going to watch that. If
Yeah.
they're doing it, I want to watch it, so I'm going to have to watch season 2. Maybe rewatch season 1 maybe do a review of that, because I did watch all the way through that and I liked it. Spoiler alert, but it's been a while since I watched it, so might have to rewatch that before I watch season 2. But overall, this was a good episode. I think it served its purpose. It had some really good scenes in it, really good animation, of course. But I think it is leading us and getting us ready for the finale, and that is what I'm mostly very curious about, and curious about the characters they've introduced. I'm glad Kishibe has a name that I am going to have to remember.
Also looking forward to seeing how the single brain cell known as Denji and Power, how their training has paid off.
This episode was very minimal on them. They're barely in it.
Yeah, they were like just in a blip where they got the information on their training schedule changing, and then them being very confident before the raid.
Yeah, I mean, literally, it's just implied that they're doing better because he got scratched when they were training, and then right before, Denji's talking about how he's like wants to see how his new skills are, and then Power is saying that they're all honed in and shit, and starts laughing to herself, and then they're killing like these cannon fodder zombies, and so yeah, I would like to know where they're at. But again, this episode is so packed full of like, not quite exposition, but like just kind of like alluding to things, and also Aki, which I think is the most important part because something big happened to him, but then also introducing 4 new characters. There is no room for in the time to really explore Denji and Power right now, who have been pretty central to the whole show so far. So it was definitely an episode to prep for what's to come. So overall, good episode though. I liked it. Outro was okay. Like I already said, the visuals are cool, songs, whatever. So, but yeah, can't wait for the finale, but don't want it to end. Anything else?
No, that pretty much covers it.
Yeah. So let us know in the comments what you guys think of episode 11 of Chainsaw Man. Did you like it? Did you not like it? We have not read the manga, so if you're a manga reader, please no spoilers. We've gotten this far without any, so we would appreciate to maintain that. But if you did watch this episode, what did you think of the episode? What stood out to you? What didn't stand out to you? And yeah, let me know everything you think about in the comments below. I've been Seth, this has been Chevy, and until the next episode, we'll talk to you guys later.